7,005,050. I have actually already done this video this morning, but I didn't like the way I looked, so I'm doing it again. Which is a great start, really great start. Vanity is good for you. Alrighty, so my name is Simone. I am attempting a vlogging challenge for the second time. About a year and a half ago, I tried to do Vlogmas, which is where you vlog every day in the lead up to Christmas, and I made it for 3 days. Vlogging is actually really a bit full on. Well, it's a lot of work, and it's a big challenge for me. I don't really feel very comfortable doing it, which, you know, it's good to step out of your comfort zone, but it's hard, and it means that I've done this like 50 times. But let's see how we go. If you see the bit at the beginning, it's because I haven't figured out how to video edit yet, or I can't be bothered figuring it out. But consider it a blooper reel. Right. Alright. Introduce myself. I did that. I'm Simone. I have a business called Goblin Fruit. I think I'm currently referring to it as a fashion design consultant. So my primary work at the moment is helping people who want to start their own fashion labels, do the design work, I do the pattern making, I do the sample making, I help with sourcing, and I help with production. So getting everything made. I do normally have a part-time job as well, but this is the pandemic era. And I mean, normally I work in retail, but for the last 9 months or so, I've been working as a pattern maker for another company, but that work has dried up. So let's try something different. So why am I here? Well, what's the challenge? The challenge is for Me Made May. Me Made May is like a challenge for like home sewers generally, which is to wear, it was started by Sozo, is her Instagram handle. She does have a blog. I'll link the blog down below. I can't remember what it's called. It's been going for years, and people challenge themselves to do something around their Me Made wardrobe every day, or maybe even once a week or whatever, for the month of May. So like most common is to wear something Me Made every day, so something that you made yourself, or to wear full Me Made every day, or to document what you wear every day. And it's kind of about learning what you wear every day. You know? Like learning if what you make is what you wear every day. And in the things that you wear every day, are there holes in your wardrobe of things that you're not making? Yeah? But this year I think it's kind of, for me, it's kind of got a double whammy, because now that I'm working from home all the time, I need to make sure that I get properly dressed every day for work, because I have a better day and get more work done if I get properly dressed. It just feels more professional. And yeah, I really like the feeling of getting, you know, out of the house and catching the train and seeing people at work and, you know, dressing to be seen, because I like fashion. It's my life. But we can't do that right now. So I'm going to do that in this blog instead. And I'll just talk about what I'm wearing and what the patterns were. I have very recently started working, not very recently, it's been a couple of years, started working with commercial patterns, because I wanted to make more stuff for myself, but I found that I just wasn't going to all the trouble of designing and pattern making for myself. So I skipped that whole phase, and I'm just going straight to already made patterns from, today I'm wearing an independent designer, but mostly I do wear commercial patterns. And I do really modify them. And to be honest, I probably don't sew them in the most professional way. My whole point with making stuff for myself is to get something made, to get it finished, to get things that I can wear. So I tend to slam it together. I don't make trials. I change things on the spot. I don't pattern match. I really should. It looks really nice, but I don't. So, you know, what you see me make here, I can do better. I can do better. Before I go on though, you might know this is my new studio. So I've moved rooms in my house to this room, which has lots and lots of beautiful light. And I needed to do that because I need to get, well, I was just living in this whole house by myself. But previously I've had a housemate. And now, because work and budgets, I need to get a housemate back in again. So I had to move the rooms that I'd set up for my studio so that somebody else can live there. So this is my new studio, which I haven't finished moving everything in yet. Hence all the empty shelves. I have too much stuff. I've been procrastinating moving everything because I have too much stuff and I need to get rid of some stuff. For my graduate collection at fashion school and my I did a collection for Perth Fashion Festival as well. I was on a budget, so I used a lot of fabric that was like secondhand, stuff that was sourced from secondhand stores or things that were given to me, things like that. So I had a lot of stuff so that I could collate it all together, and the work that I did had lots and lots of elements. But now I have a lot of stuff left over from that, and I don't know what to do with it. I just don't know what to do with it. There's just so much stuff. I also have my own label, and you can see if you go to the Goblin Fruit website, I have, I started off in lingerie, and with a label called Kiss Me Quick. That was 15 years ago, back in the MySpace days. And I was doing like burlesque and 50s inspired lingerie. Then I let that go and I went to fashion school and I did like full clothes, not just lingerie, full clothes. Real heavy emphasis on sustainability, and I did a couple of ranges. And then about a year ago, so I did the Vlogmas thing. I was just a new way to try and do more kind of online content. But the reality was I was just really over being online. Like I'd had enough. As I said, I'd started in the MySpace days. I'd started creating my own websites on Dreamweaver. I'd been really into it. And then suddenly I just really didn't want to anymore. So I've had nearly a year off. I don't think I've posted anything online for 9 months. And I have an online business. So strangely enough, that didn't work out for the business very well. Good thing I had another job. And I need to get that business back up and running. If I'm going to do another clothing line, I don't know. I haven't decided. I might do some bits and bobs. Just in an effort to get rid of some of the fabric and stuff that I have here. And I am doing, I will be, I don't know if it's ready yet, a clearance on some of the things that are on the website, just to get rid of like the last bits of stock that I have. That's probably all I can say about that, is that I just have a lot of stuff. But that said, let's get on to my outfit, because this skirt is actually, can I back right up? Can you see me full length? So this is just a very, very basic bias cut skirt. This is a pattern that I did myself, but as I was saying before, this is like op-shop fabric. This is fabric that I sourced from Anglicare. No idea what it is. I think it's a cotton, but I think it's in a cotton because it's not a yarn dye. So a yarn dye, you'd see it all the way through. It's printed. And I think the printing has changed the texture of the fabric. It's like it really doesn't wrinkle, like at all, which a cotton really, really would. I like this particularly, this is the bias cut skirt that I wear the most of all the ones I've made, because this fabric has like no drape. So it's like really stiff. It still kind of holds quite an A-line shape. Whereas normally a bias cut fabric would, hug your curves. So sit over the hips and then really hook back in again. This one's grabbing onto my tights. And you see a little bit of that drape, so it hooks in and then flicks out, and you get nice sort of drape all the way around. Very kind of 1930s, 1940s kind of thing, in satins, all that sort of thing. Nightgowns, all bias cut. And then massive resurgence in the 90s to early noughties. And I used to wear bias cut dresses in the late 90s, early noughties all that time, which, you know, is just me showing my age. So when it came back into fashion, I was like, yeah, I was all on board. This pattern, it's this really lazy. It's exactly the same front and back. There are no darts. The back piece, I really should have cut out of the waistline this extra bit of fabric that happens here. I don't know if it's doing what it does, but yeah, see, it makes that bit there. I really should have cut that out, but I made 3 of them and I still haven't made the adjustments to the pattern, so I'm feeling it's probably not going to happen. Yeah, no darts and just elastic on the waist. Super easy, so easy. I think I cut this pattern off another skirt that probably wasn't even a bias cut skirt. I just laid out, okay, that's the skirt shape that fits me. If you wanted to do a bias cut skirt and you didn't want to make a pattern, I do think that there's a McCall's one. There is a commercial one available from one of the big 4. If I find it, I'll link it. Yeah, so that's the skirt. Yeah, I think that's everything. The top is a pattern, an independent pattern that's really popular. It's been popular for years. Hold on, sorry. This is the Wanted Tee by Vanessa Pousset. It's French, so I've probably murdered it. I just really liked how this square neck was done, and I couldn't be bothered figuring out how to do it myself. So with these little, like, you make like the mitered corner neckband and then set it into this 90-degree angle neckline. The instructions are all in French, but there are like heaps of tutorials for it if you wanted to make one. Once you've got the hang of it, it's not hard. It's just doing a 90-degree, sewing a 90-degree angle is basically the only tricky part. And if you've done that before, because I mean, plenty of patterns have 90-degree angles in them, you're a fan. The fabric that I made this one, and this is my first one, I've made 3. And I've never actually sewn with scuba before. This is a scuba, like a lightweight scuba or something like that. Scuba, Ponte, Bengaline, like those stable knits. I don't think Bengaline is a knit. I think it's a woven, but it has that same kind of way about it. Like super, super stretchy, very, very synthetic. I'm not really into those fabrics. You know, there was like that period in the early noughties where there was like lots of 1950s retro dresses being made in Bengaline because they're stretchy and they're comfortable. I hated the fact that they were made in Bengaline. It was just really sad. But yeah, I'm drawn to it because I know it's comfortable and easy to sew, really, really easy to sew. And this particularly, I bought it because of this beautiful red fabric, but this is the first time I've ever actually sewn with it. I have this weird other stretch crepey thing that I've made a couple of things out of, and I made my second version of this top out of it, and you won't see that second version because I cut it wrong and it's a solid size and a half too small. And this is probably a little bit too small in this one, so that one is way too small. So with the sizing, now there's a big thing, you know, there's a thing in the sewing community at the moment about sharing your measurements, and I'm like totally on board with that, because if somebody tells you what their measurements are and then they tell you they made that pattern and they made that pattern in that size, you can have a better idea of what size in that pattern might fit you. Yeah, so it's not about like body, it's not about bodies in so much as what's supposed to be, you know, pleasing. It's just about size and getting a good fit. So I am 5'6". My bust is 26 to 27 inches, depending on the day. Or sometimes even, 36 to 37 inches. That would be nice. 36 to 37 inches, depending on the day. Sometimes 35, depending on the bra. My waist is 29 to, I go up to about 33. I think at the moment I'm about 30, depending on the day. Hip, 37 to 38. It doesn't tend to change that much. It's down here that I put it on. What was I saying? The wanted tee. I made a size 38. In this Ponte, it's probably too small. It's too small a size. I've made it again in like a wool kind of sweater knit / jersey, and it's great. It's the perfect size. But in this, it's a bit too small. The thing that I find weird about this pattern, which is emphasized by the fact that it's a bit too small, is some of the shaping through here and the sleeve head. And I mean, I've noticed this on quite a few people. It's not just me. That this space here, like this, okay, let me get closer so you can see. Sorry, I'm stepping over my dog. If you hear weird, heavy breathing, that's the dog. Not some weird person in my house. So the distance between like here and then the arm sleeve is quite small. It seems to be proportionately too small. It makes, I mean, you can see particularly on this side, I don't know what I did there, but it really bows out, like as it's pulling over the top of my sleeve head. And this shoulder seam is set right in. Like normally a shoulder seam on me, I prefer it to be about there, like just set in from the edge of my shoulder. Whereas this is like a long way, it's here. Which means that like the sleeve head is holding not just like my sleeve, like my shoulder, but like all of the top of my shoulder as well. Like my arm is coming right out from that seam, if you know what I mean. I hope that made sense. But yeah, normally this fabric wouldn't be trying to wrap around that far, which causes it to pull here. And when you've got that really nice point happening, that causes it to distort. And like some people I know have sewn it really, really well, and they've got, you know, their point in perfect. This one's slightly not perfect. As I said, I slam stuff together. And they got their point really perfect, but this, because, you know, these little gathers here, is making it look like it's not. Just because it's really, really tight there. But, yeah. Just interesting. Just an interesting part of the pattern. I mean, the other thing with the pattern that sucks a bit is that it's a really, really small size range. But other people have said you could just take the outline of the neck and the neckband and put that onto any top pattern that you wanted, and that would work just fine. And I might even try and do that. I am going to challenge myself to make some more tops. I have a skivvy pattern that I've drafted myself that I make all the time, but I'm convinced that it's not perfect. It's not perfect here. So it seems just a little bit too big. There's just too much fabric there. The arm line I think is a little bit too low. And then I get lots of creasing through here. So I'm going to try some other patterns and see if I can make my pattern better. This pattern for a skivvy, like seriously, I made it like 10 years ago. So I can only hope that my pattern making's improved since then. Is there anything else I want to say about this? Fabrics from Spotlight. So yeah, I'm here in Perth, Western Australia. So I will be talking about Australian suppliers. As far as, I mean, shopping and stuff goes, like I can still go to Spotlight and buy fabric here in this pandemic apocalypse, the new now future world, because we're pretty safe here. There haven't been a huge number of cases. There have been very, very few people have died. Fortunately, very few, not so fortunate for those people. And I mean, I must admit we're getting a bit lazy. Social distancing and all that stuff we were really good at. We closed a lot of shops. Gyms are closed. My gym's closed. I haven't been to the gym for like a month. Nightclubs, pubs, going out, none of that stuff happening. But as far as like social distancing on the street, if you wanted to go and get a takeaway coffee or go to the supermarket or go to one of the shops that are still open, not very many shops still open, Spotlight definitely still open. Yeah. People are up close and personal. Yeah. So we'll see how long this lasts for. Bless us. We're a little bit entitled. We're a little bit privileged here in WA. That's very nice. It is very nice. What else can I say? Today I've just got to get some work done for a client. I've just got to make a little skirt, and just some other bits and bobs for her. So I won't be doing any fun personal sewing today. But yeah, I hope this was enjoyable for someone. If you want to encourage me to keep going, please like write a comment or do a little thumbs up. Last time I tried this, I got 1 thumbs down. No thumbs up, just 1 thumbs down. And I was like, what the actual? Like, why? Why do people, yeah. I mean, any interaction's good, right? But I've never thumbs down a video before. Anyway, I'm here on the sewing world because I think you're all really very, very nice, as opposed to when I get out and post things in the lingerie world, which is a bit creepy sometimes. I mean, a lot of the women who are in that, they're just so nice. Like, lingerie bloggers are so nice. The weird people who follow them are weird. Yeah, they're just different. I just didn't want to do that just yet. I'm just dipping my toes in. I think that's everything. Yeah, nice to chat, and I'm going to try and do this again tomorrow.